Hi everyone, welcome back inside Manhattan Basketball. Christian Heimall with the head coach of Manhattan Men's Basketball, Steve Masiello, as well as the freshman, Rich Williams. Guys, thanks a lot for the time. Coach, you had Rich come in here today, and we were talking about him after the game against Maris. 2 big steal and dunks for him and that kind of stuff. You were talking about you don't know if a freshman would have the confidence to jump those passes, make those plays.
Yeah, Rich is a unique kid in the sense of when we recruited him, he's funny. He was telling me more about what he was going to do when he got here. Mm-hmm. And you don't get a lot of kids like that. And some coaches are kind of like turned off by that. I loved it. Mm-hmm. And his personality and his demeanor, the way he carries himself, I compared him to Floyd Mayweather. He's very matter of fact. Mm-hmm. It's like, this is what I'm going to do. This is how it's going to happen. And then everyone's going to get out of my way. And if they don't, everyone's got to pay a price for it. And I respect that. I like it. I love it. And I tell him Rich's only issue I have with Rich is sometimes he's tried to change, and he's confusing improving with change. I don't want him to change. I just want him to improve. And sometimes he's trying to change and not be who he is. And the kid we recruited, and him and I got into it pretty good during the Maris game, and I let him have it. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I said, "You're all talk. All you are is talk. You don't back anything up. I brought you here to be who you are, and you want to be someone else." And then after the game, he asked me, "Is that okay?" I said, "Yeah, that was
great." Rich, talk about where does that confidence come from in yourself? Where does that bravado come from?
Just basically like the way I was brought up, like just like everything being against me, and like just overcoming a lot, and just wanting to be better, mm-hmm. and just believing in myself.
You and I talked a couple of days ago with Coach Masiello. Everything that he has said you'd be able to do, you've been able to do so far. The confidence that he shows in you, what does that say?
It actually means a lot because, like, I'm the type of guy, if you show me something and it comes true, it just makes me, like, want me to give you my all. Like, mm-hmm. If you tell me you're going to do something and it comes to light, then I'm going to, like, do what I can do to help you, like,
What's been the biggest struggle for you as a freshman student athlete? Because it's more than just playing basketball, obviously, adjusting to college.
This will be a good answer.
What's been the biggest difficulty for you?
Just college, like, mm-hmm. different, like, not necessarily living on my own, just going to school every day, like, a lot of responsibility, tough workouts, hard workouts, like, everything was, like, hard, like, workouts is, like, tough, so, like, it's, like a lot of mental, mm-hmm. That's about it. A lot of mental stuff.
We talked about it last week. You talked so much about these players getting their degrees and having them set up for life. Yeah. When that starts for a freshman, what's the difference between a freshman and getting that instilled in them and a senior who's already?
Well, I think the day they get here, it's why they struggle. Mm-hmm. We're treating you like a senior, basically, like mm-hmm. you've been here, and we expect you to do exactly what a senior does, maybe even more sometimes, because we'll put them through maybe 2 workouts, and we'll put them in extra study hall. Their demands are the hardest. We believe in and I don't want to say the word training, but we just think it's learned habits from a young age. When you get here, this is how it is. You adjust to it, and if you don't, you won't be here. And Rich, what I love about Rich is he has such respect, and that's such a credit to his mother, but he's an honest kid. Mm-hmm. And he came in here, sat in my office after, I think it was the Columbia game, and he said, "Do you believe in me?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." He said, "Why aren't I playing?" I said, "Because you're not ready." And he said, "No, I am ready." I said, "Listen, my job is to put you in a situation to be successful. If you think you're ready, I'll play you tomorrow. And you're going to look bad. Your teammates are going to get on you because we have an upperclassman team that if you make one mistake, they're all over you in a timeout." And people don't believe me when I say that. I don't have to get on guys. Ramel, Mike, and George are already all over you. And I said, your teammates are going to get on you. I know how you are. You're going to want to beat yourself up. You're going to be the hardest on you. You're going to lose confidence. I said, or you could just trust me and believe me, son, you're going to have your time and you're going to be great. I just want to set you up for success. You were behind because you weren't eligible this summer. You didn't get to take the trip. You had a knee injury to set you back. So you're behind the 8 ball a little bit. He said, "Yeah, but all these people are calling me. They all wonder what's going on. Why aren't I playing?" I said, "Those people call me." I said, "You either listen to me or you listen to them." To his credit, he listened to me. And good things happen to him. But I think that happens with a lot of young guys, and what they do is they internalize that. Not with Rich. You know what Rich is thinking at all times. And I like it because everything from him is from a good place. He's one of our hardest workers. He's in timeouts literally yelling at the top of his lungs, they're not getting a win. They're not leaving here with a win. You don't get that from freshmen. You get that from your seniors. And when you get it from a freshman, I think it says great things about him as long as he stays humble during the course of 4 years, and I'll make sure of that.
Coach talked about the seniors getting on you. It's talked a lot between there's a difference between a coach getting on a player and a teammate getting on a player, or a peer getting on a peer. What's the difference between when Coach Masiello is coming at you and when a guy like Mike Alvarado is doing it?
I mean, to be honest, it's no big difference because we all believe in the same thing. So, like, if Coach says something, that's what Mike believes in. So, it's all coming from the right places. So, I don't like they do the stuff. Like, they lead by example. So, if I see George doing it, I have to do it too. So that's how it goes. So, it's not. I can't be different from what's right. So, I can't take away from winning. So, I just listen to them because they know what they're doing.
We talked a lot your first year here about guys buying in, and it was going to take a while. Yeah. Seems like they've already bought in here to start.
That's a big credit to Rasheem Davis and the job my staff does, and Matt Wilson in recruiting. And that's a credit to Rich the way he was. A lot of this, we haven't changed Rich that much.
Mm-hmm.
Rich had a lot of these qualities when we recruited him. We've just, I think, really brought them out in him 100% of the time now. Mm-hmm. When we went and saw him, we brought him in for recruitment. He told me, "I'm gonna come here. We're gonna win. I don't lose anywhere I go." And it's great to hear that. And then you see someone back it up. A lot of kids talk it, and that's why I know the one way I really get to him is when I say you're all talk, because he takes great pride in actions. Mm-hmm. Actions. I'll show you what actions. I'll show you what actions. And we talk a lot about, like, he knows. I want to see you on the backboard. I want to see your energy. I want to see you block shots. I want to see you on the floor. I don't, shoot the ball as much as you want. That's how we play here. But you better defend and rebound the basketball. And he knows he has to produce. And if he doesn't produce, he's got Emi Anyor breathing down his neck. And if he doesn't produce, he's got Ashton. So that's what's great about competition and keeping guys honest. But Rich deserves a lot of credit for it because he had all these qualities, and I think the right program and right people bring it out, and that's what we're doing with him.
Coach made the comparison in the post-game press conference. He also just said, well, when you first came in here calling you Baby Floyd Mayweather, what is that comparison like for you?
That's just who I am because, like, I just get after it. Like, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Like if you go to war, like, I'm going to be there for you. So, like, that's just who I am, so.
We always get fan questions involved in Rich.
Rich is a big Twitter guy, too.
Very much so.
He'll let you know a lot of his feelings on Twitter. So I'll ask him, I'll go, Rich, what did you mean by that Twitter? Like, Coach, just leave me alone. What did you get? He's got, what's some of your favorite ones? What's a couple of your favorite quotes? Because Rich has a lot of his own quotes that he likes. Yeah,
it's all about just, like, feeling like the public will, like, good. Like mental.
Right. But what's one of your favorite quotes you'd like to go by? If you had to sum up your personality in your life, what would be your quote that you would say sums it up? If you had one.
My quote?
You use a lot of loyalty stuff, right? You're big into loyalty,
I'm very big on loyalty.
Yeah.
Like, you need loyalty. Like,
you don't like when people lie to you.
Don't like to be lied to.
Right.
I haven't been lied to here yet, so I'm very happy about that.
And you never will be. Now tell the Jazz Nation really about yourself. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Jamaica.
Right. And that's why you don't like the line.
You grew up in Jamaica.
Yeah. They're very literal. And you went to where? California.
I was born in Jamaica, then I moved to Los Angeles when I was 2 years old.
Okay.
I grew up in Los Angeles till I was about 8. Then finally moved with my mom in New York when I was about 9. And
you live in where do you live in? Westchester County?
Where?
That's where you live. Where are you from? Westchester?
I'm from South Central.
South Central. And where in New York do you live? Where's your family from in New York?
Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn. That's right, Brooklyn. I thought it was Greenwich. Okay. Are you sure it's Brooklyn?
I'm positive.
But the nice part, the very...
No. Not the nice part. But, yeah, that's another, like, where I come from is the reason why I go so hard, like, on the court. I'm the type of guy I make a lot of mistakes, but, like, I feel like if I'm playing 20 minutes, 5 is going to be mistakes, and 15 is going to be honest effort. And that's just what I try to do, just go hard for everybody.
He's one of our best recruiters we have in this program. And this to me is when I knew he was special. We brought Zane Waterman in on a visit, and he signed with us. And Zane's a 4-3, and Rich, when we recruited Rich, we thought he'd be a 2-3, and he will be, but because of the roster this year, we played him at some 4. And it's funny, the number one reason why Zane Waterman came here is because of Rich Williams. And it's a guy who potentially could be competing against for minutes next year, but it says so much about his character. Rich just wanted that guy with him. He loved his game so much. He saw him, they clicked. And when I saw that about him, I said, he's all about the right things. And you don't see that in young people. You know, a lot of guys are looking over their shoulder, wait, this guy might take my minutes. They worry about those things. Rich is what it's all about, as a lot of these guys are. Rich is just more vocal about it, and especially at a young age. He has great heart, great courage, and he's not afraid of the moment. And it started really in the Barclays Center. You know, you saw some moments from him there. Even though he missed a big shot for us, he had a huge putback to help us win the game. He's been a part of some big plays for us this year, and I think he's just going to continue to get better.
I'm a little afraid to ask this question, but I don't want you to be afraid of the response. In the Marist game, you get the steal and the dunk right before halftime, and coach is talking to you as you guys are headed towards the locker room. What was that conversation like?
Oh, he was just telling me, like, be me, like, I think be the kid from Brooklyn, like, who recruited, just put your personality on the team and just play. Like, stop thinking, like, play the game.
We got, you know, we have it's a fine line because we have some really tough kids. I mean, when you look at our roster and the makeup of our team, it's a lot of inner city kids who come from tough backgrounds, and I want them to be gentlemen and professional at all times. That's the number one thing I care about, and represent this college the right way. In the same breath, I don't want them to lose who they are. They have to be who they are because that's a reason why they're successful. And you have to have that chip on your shoulder. And I think sometimes our guys kind of lose that a little bit. And I want Mike and Heimall and Rich and George to let that come out. And what I just call playing with a personality, playing with that passion. And when you do that, I think you're in your comfort zone. You're more natural. We're not going to do anything dirty or class. We epitomize what class should be. We try to and be professional at all times and play the game the right way, hard. But at times you got to put your stamp on it.
As always, like to get the fans involved. And Rich, we've got a question for you here. Who is your favorite NBA athlete?
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you try to mirror his game at all?
Not at all. It's not me trying to be Kobe.
It's his favorite player, but he wants nothing to do with his game. No, not at all.
I just like the way Kobe approached the game with his respect for the game. I like how hard he goes. I like his drive to win. He takes a lot of shots, and people get on taking 80 shots, a lot of shots. He don't care because he know he's gonna win. He believe him. He got that belief in him. So that's what I really admire about him.
Rich has such an ego. I say that with pride. Playing Fairfield, we had an inside joke with the team, and Rich doesn't block out, tries to out-jump someone. And Rich has a sword in him, and it's bothering him. He's not 100%. His back's bothering, as is everyone this time of year. And the guy goes up and makes a great play and dunks the basketball. We had an inside joke going on. Guaranteed the next play down, Rich Williams was shooting the ball. There was no doubt about it. He had to get the guy back. You know, he's such a funny kid in that sense, and we have such a good time coaching him. But, I just think, the future of this program is looking bright. And what he's done a great job of is really buying into his role and understanding that, okay, this year I'm not, Rich can score the ball, as you people have started to see. He's very gifted in that area. But we don't need him to do that. We need his toughness, his energy, his rebounding, his defense, his block shots. Now, that doesn't mean he's not going to do it, when he's available, as you saw at Marist, as you've seen this time many times this year. But he does a great job of understanding what this team needs from him to win. And when you get a guy like that, who's great at buying into being that option and doing that, that's why we have 12 wins and we're tied for first place in this conference. Because most kids like him are so, hey, this is what I do, I want to do. No, he understands winning, and that's a credit to the seniors. And everyone knows Rich's big brother is Heimall. We went to Transit Tech together, and I could get on Rich, but when Heimall gets on Rich,
what's that like? Because again, you guys played together before, so what's that like?
That's one of the reasons I came in my hand, because when Heimall was at Transit, he was very lazy. He never liked to do it. He never did it. So when I saw Heimall change and become the person he is today, the player he is today, I was I wanted to be a part of that. Because I remember when Coach first got the job, and he had these summer workouts. He used to come back to Transit yo, it's no joke. But one thing he did say is that he was gonna get better. So with this stuff I see Heimall doing now, I can't believe it. So it's crazy.
Fan question for you, Coach. Coming up from Albany with Siena upcoming here. Thoughts on what Jimmy Patsos has done in his first year with the Saints?
What I expect from Jimmy. Jimmy does a great job with everywhere he's been. He has his kids going to play hard. They have great energy. And they're going to play with a lot of passion. And that's all you can ask for from your players. The rest he'll take care of in recruiting. I think he's gotten guys to overachieve already with Bisping and Silas, and Poole's probably having his best year of his career. He's totally transformed Evan Himes' game and made him more of a true point guard, and he's really bought into his role. They're a very dangerous team. They play it's almost impossible to beat them up in Siena. And they're doing a very good job on the road. They're in every single game. It comes down to a couple of them. So it's a vintage Jimmy team. They're going to get after him, play a lot of different defenses, not come back down from anyone. They reflect Jimmy and what he wants, and very similar to the job he did at Loyola. Jimmy does a terrific job everywhere he's been, and he's going to continue to do that at Siena.
You talk about Evan changing his game around. The last couple of years, he's been that big shooter, high point scoring guy. What has changed for him to be that point guard?
Well, from watching film on him, I think really just Jimmy just kind of said, hey, it's going to be this or that, and you have to buy into this. And if you don't, there's that.
Right.
And that's what you have to do. And I respect that so much when a coach does that and kind of comes in and puts his stamp on a program. And it's very evident from watching film. You see Evan, he's thinking pass first. He's defending. When he's open, he's shooting the basketball. He's making people better. So, Siena's going to be a very tough game for us because of the job Jimmy's done. Siena's a very good team. They have good talent, I think underrated talent in Poole, Silas. They have some terrific freshmen that are giving them great minutes. They have good depth. They're playing 9-10 guys. Their style's difficult. So it's going to be a very difficult match, especially for us. We have some injuries going on right now that we're going to have to overcome, and we have to show that we can do it.
Rich, Ramel Brown last week was talking about when he's watching a game, whether it's in his room just watching a game on TV or whether it's in film, he's watching it from a coach's perspective. As a freshman, when you start watching film, how do you start breaking it down? How are you looking at it?
Well, I just look at it how anybody else look at it. What Coach always talk about, first of all, when you go on the court, it's all about playing hard. Mm-hmm. And with the luxury that I got is that it's a lot of older guys on our team, so they kind of tell me, they show me the ropes to things. So if you look at it, we know everything the other team's going to do. Mm-hmm. We know the schemes. So our thing is to do is to practice hard and assimilate what they're going to do so we can stop them. And I feel like we only can beat ourselves because we got everybody. We got everything we need to win games. So we can look at it all we want, but we just got to play hard.
And that's something Rich has, I think, really done a great job. When he first got here, he kind of just played. Mm-hmm. And now he's starting to understand, both of those steals he had were from scouting. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if he would have made those 4 months ago. Right. And that's part of maturity as a player. Now he's understanding rotations. He understands the next play. He understands who we leave, who we don't leave. And that's a credit to him because a lot of freshmen don't get that to really their sophomore year. This group of freshmen, especially Tyler and Rich, are getting that much sooner. So I'm very proud of him. But Rich, you dating anyone?
No? Am I dating someone?
Yeah, that's what I just asked you.
Yeah, I got a little friend, yeah.
You got a little friend?
I got a little friend.
Yeah, okay. How's that going?
It's going pretty well.
Pretty well?
Pretty well.
Good. How do you like, who's your roommate?
Emmy.
Emmy, how's that like?
It's very good.
You guys have a good relationship?
Yes.
Who are you closest with on the team?
I'm close to a lot of guys in different type of ways. I'm close with Emmy because me and Emmy share some of the same.
He asked you the question.
Me and Emmy, we grew up together,
right.
As you know.
Yeah. So that's the guy you're the closest with on the team.
Yeah, and as far as just understanding each other, yeah.
What's worse, Coach Mass being mad at you or your mother being mad at you?
Same.
For those of you wondering, we are not bringing up the injury situation to George Beeman. Coach addressed it in the MAC media conference this week. He's a day-to-day situation that we're going to evaluate. Coach is going to evaluate along with the strong
He's
staff.
A day-to-day. He will be back. I know most people want to hear he's out for the year, but he's not. I'm sorry. He's going to be back in a Jasper uniform and playing. Ramel Brown, though, is injured, and he is, I'd say, 50-50 if he plays Thursday. He has an ankle and calf tightness, and it's something we just don't want to risk. It happened during the Marist game. The trainer and Dr. Graham, he said, do not play him the rest of the game. That's why I didn't play him. He didn't do anything wrong. His calf tightened up, and what happens with the calf, if you're not careful and get the strength and the flexibility back in, it can lead to an Achilles, and that's very dangerous. So we want to be very preventative and make sure. We treated him yesterday. We're going to treat him today, treat him again tomorrow, see how he responds to it. So we could be without George and Ramel going into Thursday's game. And if we are, we are. We have to continue to get better, and we got guys like Rich Williams who hopefully will do some things for us.
Coach has talked about it. We haven't even seen the defensive side of your game. You and I talked about it prior to Quinnipiac about how exciting that is when you haven't even reached what other people are saying is your full potential and what you even know is your full potential yet.
I like that. I like it because I don't need to be who I am yet. I can just do the little things. Like, just feed off the older guys. Like, do the little things to win. Like, I know when it's my time, it'll be my time.
How many young kids?
As I was about to say, how many
young
freshmen
kids
are going
in
to
college say that? You know, and that's again, but that's who Rich is,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been that way. And I give our staff so much credit for recruiting these type of people, and for him to understand that he's not worried about the success tonight. He knows it's there, and he's just going through the process, and that's what I'm really pleased with him about.
We've seen the relationship with the older guys and the younger guys. You know, George and you, Emmy and you, Mike and George, the older guys together. Yeah. But what's the relationship like with you, Tyler, and Carlton, the freshmen?
The Three Stooges?
Yeah. It's funny. It's very funny, but they're just like me. They're cool. Like, I couldn't be more happier to like be in the same classes. They're good guys. Good guys.
One of the funny stories I have about Rich, we were in a film session, I forgot who was after him, and Rich and Ramel were on the court, and Ramel didn't go get a rebound, and I got on Rich. I said, Rich, you can get on the backboard so rebound the ball. In the middle of the film, Rich just turns to Ramel, he goes, you got every one of these in high school, why don't you go get it now? I said, Rich, this isn't high school anymore, so I count on Ramel to go get him. But so Rich has changed, you know, in the middle. He has a personality a lot like Russ Smith did, where there's this kind of, Rich is going to be Rich. Even as mad as I am, Rich will say some things to me, and I just can't help but laugh. But we have a lot of fun, and our relationship, I think, has really grown a lot. And he's a guy I trust a lot. Mm-hmm. And you know, I've played a lot of freshmen, but I don't know how many freshmen I've really gone to in game time situations and entrusted in late in games. And I said this, he acts like he's been here for 10 years. Mm-hmm. He really does. He walks around. He knows everyone on campus. You know, he has everything kind of wired. You think this guy has tenure as a professor here, but you know, and it's fun coaching him. He's a guy, because one thing you know about Rich every day, you don't have to coach his effort and his enthusiasm. And when you have a guy who's doing that, it's fun to coach.
This is not a trap question, so don't think that I'm trying to get you to say something wrong or anything here.
Okay.
Coach has said a couple of times in the preseason that he thinks you have the potential to be the next great in a Jasper uniform.
Yeah.
The individual stuff, I know that every single guy on this team could care less about the individual awards. You want that MAC championship ring. You want to win, cut down the nets that Monday night in March. But for you, where's the biggest individual accomplishment that you want?
I want to go to the NCAAs. I when I first got here, my thing was running the Rookie of the Year, but I know it's nothing more greater than going to the NCAAs. Mm-hmm. And I don't think no freshman have a better chance than me at that. So with that, like I said, I know when I'm a senior here, I'm a junior here, I'm gonna be fine. Like, it's not about what I'm gonna get now, but right now I just want to go to the NCAAs and win games, not just go.
And that was a big part of the recruiting of Rich. I said, Rich, what are you looking for in this whole thing? I said, do you want to go somewhere and play right away and dominate? Do you want to win? Do you want to be a part of winning? Do you want to play and win? And he said, I want to win. He said, that's what I want to do. I want to win. I know I'll play and I'll beat some guys out and I'll do what I have to do. And that's what you want. You want your guys to want to win, because when they sacrifice the individual for the whole of the team, you're going to get some good results. But that starts with our senior leadership. That starts with Rashawn, Emmy, George, Mike, Ramel, even Ashton. You know, even Ashton, a guy I've been very hard on. You see him now, he's playing a lot of passion. He's letting that kind of personality out. And that's because the guys get on him. And we make no bones about it. There's no... I'll be the first to say who's in my doghouse. Guys, you know, you're in my doghouse. You're going to know about it. I'm going to let everyone know about it. He's been in my dog. Him and I have had some great screaming matches. One-sided, mostly, but some really good screaming matches.
Very one-sided.
Real quick, Coach, you brought them up earlier. We talked about them as a team, but where are your keys for Siena coming up Thursday night?
You know, I just think they're a team that if you let them dictate, they're second, I believe, in field goal percentage defense. They want to slow tempo down. They're going to play a variety of different defenses, from zone, man, 3-2. They'll trap on side out of bounds. They'll give you some pressure. You have to be in attack mode. You can't get slowed down by them. You can only give them one shot. They're really shooting it well from 3 at the perimeter. You have to understand you can't let Poole and Himes get going from the perimeter and take away the 3. And I think a thing for us that we are preaching, and I'll take full credit. We got to stop fouling so much. Mm-hmm. Again, between the new rules, the referees, our fouling, and our style, my only issue is I feel we're being punished for playing hard. Mm-hmm. That's my only kind of knock I have with all this stuff. There are certain plays that have no bearing on the game that get called a foul. And not just by us. There are other teams that are playing hard that I'm watching a lot of film and I'm seeing it. You can't punish teams for playing hard. I'm not going to tell my guys not to play hard. Mm-hmm. We're going to take our hands away and play smarter, but we can't let them get to the foul line 25, 28 times. You just can't do that. And that's something that's happened in the last 2 games. Teams have got to the foul line way too much. And I think when you let that happen, it gives teams a chance. Because our defense is very good. Teams are shooting, I believe, 37% against us. But you don't want to bail them out. So we can't do that against Siena. This is going to be a very difficult game, especially without possibly Georgia Ramel.
Rich, you've played a couple of games in the fall here at Dratty Gymnasium. This is the last intersession game before the students all do come back. What do you like about playing here at Dratty?
Well, just protecting our house. It's like it'd be nice and warm. Like, I just like the feeling I get, like the alumni, the people, our fans. I think we got some very loyal fans that I really appreciate. I just like the family atmosphere here. It's small, it's nice, and we just get after it. So I appreciate that.
Another chance for the fans to see him here at home on Thursday night as the Jaspers host Siena.
How do you think of him so far?
Rich?
Yeah.
I love watching Rich play. Love it.
Really?
Exciting. Very.
Who was on the broadcast with you last year?
Smooth. Chris Williams.
Chris Williams. Yeah, and so he really likes it because of the last name, right?
Well, not only.
Tell Rich about that because I don't know.
So here's what I love about Smooth. So Chris Williams graduated in '94. He was on the '94 championship team. Smooth has a thing for guys with his last name, guys who wear his old number 20, and guys who are left-handed.
Yeah.
So any single time if you've got one of those 3. You're his guy. You're his guy. So you'll get to know Smooth really well. And Smooth actually is funny. I mean, I know you watched the game. You watched the broadcast of every single home game.
I've critiqued you many times.
Many times.
You were bad 2 games ago.
Very a couple home games ago.
First
was
field goal
pretty
to
poor.
the been a rough night before.
Smooth was actually, and Smooth does the same thing to me too. Smooth watches the show all the time, and he made a comment on the broadcast on Sunday about how when you asked me where I thought our biggest changes could be, he said you were stumped, but Chris, I'm telling you, we need to get low paint touches. I'm not talking about with guards driving. I'm not talking about get that guy in there.
Yeah.
So
I heard Smooth on the broadcast. He always does a good job. I was happy to see him back at the game and see so many alumni back involved. I thought that was great. We had such a turnout of all the former players come back around, and I think that's something really special at Manhattan that they've done a terrific job in something. So it's it's happy to see it as a coach.
Don't forget, you can tweet us your questions. You can also tweet us suggestions as who you would like to see sitting in this chair.
You can tweet us anything you want.
Realistically, anything you're asking. At Go Jaspers, you can email us, gojaspers@manhattan.edu.
I'm disappointed in the questions by the fans. I thought there'd be more. I thought they wanted more dirt, gossip. Like we get some good stuff here. We could have Rich telling you all the things about Tyler. I get Tyler on the show, I got some good stuff on Tyler. I might even have his girlfriend on the show with me. We're gonna do some fun things with Tyler. We're gonna really. I want to make this show.
We should start doing the scene in Remember the Titans.
Yes.
Where they're all eating and they bring up Big Lou to talk about his roommates. Yeah. And they ask him one thing about his roommate, and he says the most embarrassing thing.
I like that.
You get a couple of things like that.
The fans got to come on. I don't know. They're just very, I'll start up. I'll start a pot up.
Rich, Coach, thanks a lot for the time. Thanks for joining us inside Manhattan Basketball.